You all in 1 million years. 1 million years, you could not figure out what's in this box. But first, you guys, welcome. Hi, good morning. It's Friday. Got the weekend off from work, not work here. And I'm Tracy, and this is my channel, Tracy from the Mermaid Cove. Welcome, welcome. And yeah, before I tell you I'll show you what's in the box. I should have gloves on, but maybe I'll just pick out one thing. I have a story to tell. And talking to y'all helps me figure out what the heck goes on. And the second I make a decision, y'all got my Fruit Loops on, okay? But let's just bring it. Y'all got my Fruit Loops on. If I had the underwears, I'd be wearing the underwears. Anyway, stuff like that. So you know what? It is the little things in life. Yeah, going to Paris apparently is lovely, but you know what? What, you go 3, 4, 5, 6 times in your lifetime, or like me, 0? But y'all having matching socks and a t-shirt that says Fruit Loops just does something for me. I'm easy like that. So it's a terrible commute coming home last night, and then Beverly's so funny. She's like, are you gonna park in the garage because the stuff's gone? I said, yeah, I guess so. Well, I didn't see it, or my brain ignored it. Don't know. I had 2 bags of stuff for the food bank, and I pull in, I hear crunch. I'm like, oh my God. I hope my tire looked okay last night. Let's just assume. I think this time my tire won. Pull back out. There are beans and milk everywhere. I had a thing of like shelf stable milk. I kind of said that. Shelf stable milk. Didn't stutter. Shelf stable milk. That's impressive. And beans. And then a can of beans opened, and it was just like Armageddon. I'm done. I was like, and there was red stuff everywhere, and it smelled like beans and milk, and it was not pleasant as it sounds. Just say this. And I pulled my car out, and I was a rage inside. Well, you can do this tomorrow. No, you can't. No, absolutely, you're not doing this tomorrow. You're doing this right now. This is disgusting. So I got my broom and what I could sweep up, I got in the trash. Luckily, it's trash day today, and luckily it's been raining. So in the back, I had a big bucket full of water. So I just threw some of it on there and have wiped it outside. So I'm sure it's gonna smell like beans this morning or tomorrow when I work in it. But come on, Clara. But yeah. So that was. I'm not sure if you wanted to do that. You could do it. And I'm just thinking, was there a moment that I realized I should not? Maybe I should move. Get out and double check, make sure nothing's there since things have been moved around. I don't know. I don't know how these things happen like that. Because obviously, or is it just my judgment was off, or I just didn't see him? I also I would not be a good witness for the prosecution because I don't remember stuff. Yeah, I thought you should film this. I just don't have it in me. I was tired. Yeah. Anyway. So I feel bad, one, food's not going to the food bank, but some of it was a little expired. Yeah, but I get that milk. Usually Dollar Tree has it. When they have it, I like to keep 1 or 2 on hand. It's just in case, right? Especially like sometimes when I have tea, I want whole milk in it. And I don't buy as much whole milk anymore, but anyway, I would survive without it for sure. But I don't know if I showed you. Did I show this yesterday? Must have. This brown thing is I don't think I wouldn't buy it again. 647 old time. But I think it was $4.99. That seemed, So 6 net carbs per serving, 40 calories, 8 grams of fiber. So I'm looking to add fiber, but I'm not thinking that. I didn't scan it in Yucca, y'all. All right. I'm not gonna be lazy. Hold on. This is 69 out of 100. It's a good. No preservatives in here, which means I probably should put it in the refrigerator. Wow. Okay. Well, if you want to get your bread, and Clara's having a bad couple of days, y'all. Hey, Clara. She really is. Something spooked her. Not last night, the night before, and she heard Joanna upstairs, and I just don't. Yeah. Anyway, I got her in my room last night, and she slept with me. And I have like now I got I got cat, dry food, and I have water, and yeah. But she slept, and we hung out last night. She'll get used to it. I feel bad. I don't want her to feel distressed or scared. But, at this point, honestly, if Joanna had been here as my friend, she'd be fine. So I think it's the cat, maybe too. The unknown of the cat. So I actually got this. Anyway, yeah, her name's Joanna. Yes. Anyway, I saw her and, or is it? And I'm making it up. Who knows? But I, said, yeah, I'd like to meet her cat this weekend, if our schedules coincide, but yeah. So I think her cat's probably very curious too about me. So anyway, so I'm going in late to work today because I'm having the area where my tooth was checked out. I would say I'm feeling much better about it, but these efforts have not been made today. But I'm feeling, it's feeling better. But those antibiotics, God, I'm done. I don't have to take any today, but they're a thing. I keep telling myself, your ancestors would have loved to have antibiotics. And I've taken some this year for sinuses, but I'm not somebody who rushes and gets an antibiotic, y'all. I'm having peanut butter and jelly. And what am I getting? Is it 2 slices? No, 1 slice. Okay. Really? What did I say? That's 16 grams of fiber. Wow, that doesn't seem right. Huh. Anyway. Hey, Claire, you want to say hi to everyone? Claire's like, no, I really don't. She's like, if you weren't such a loser of a mother, I wouldn't be in this situation. Yeah, that's not nice. She's not thinking that. Yeah, I'm not sure where that came from, but anyway, so tentatively, Marcus, Sue, and I are going to go into this place called Hagerstown. It's north in Maryland. And they have apparently this very famous donut shop, but you can only go between like 7 at night and 11. So we're thinking about Sunday night, because I don't have to get up early on Monday, heading up there and trying them. Just for y'all. I wouldn't try donuts for anybody else. But they had mentioned this before and it's been in my head. And then maybe we'll try a couple, place to have dinner or something. I don't know. Or we'll have gas station dinner. I'm not sure. Maybe check out their Dollar Tree. Different Dollar Trees everywhere. There's a time when I just wanted to drive around all the time going to the Dollar Trees all over the place. I'm not saying I don't have a feel to do that, but, overall. Anything comes in my house has to be pretty damn special or very useful. So, I'm gonna, okay. What's in this box, y'all? Okay. I wish it say on here when I got it. Is there? Long time ago. Long time ago. So, there was this teacher, Leanna Light, that, she lived in New Mexico, but she was somewhere, Beverly and I were taking a class we took from her. But she incorporates in her art these old glass from dumps and stuff. So this is a box full of old broken up glass. Exactly. But I'm not going to get any more because I don't want to, I told myself you had to have gloves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out in the colander and I'm going to rinse it all and look at it. And I can't even remember the project we took from her, honestly. I wonder if Beverly does. But she's just neat, very Southwest, kind of hippy-dippy kind of person, and lovely. So what I'm going to do is I have to make a decision. Do I throw it out or do I do something with it, right? So it's one of those, I still remember my mother when I got it. Like, you what? You got what? You paid what? For what? You got a box of broken glass. my mother was not blessed with mine and Beverly's vision. I mean, I'm gonna have to ask Beverly, what were we thinking we'd do with it? But so I'm gonna take it out, put it in the colanders and clean it, and then, you know, let it sit. And I need to do this. I don't want to like do it now and then leave it and then it comes home and it's all over the table. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. And then maybe some pieces are kind of interesting and I'll put them in one of my glass jars, you know, for display. Maybe some pieces are just little and I'll put them in something that's, you know, box and throw them out. I don't know, but it's something I can't rush. That much I do know. And I don't need broken up, you know, old glass, dirty glass from New Mexico cutting me up. So, oh, my body just aches and aches, you guys. So I haven't got any biopsy results back. I don't know how long that's supposed to take, but it feels like it's long. I feel like, no, it was a week yesterday. It just feels longer than it is. That's right, it's been a week yesterday. But I want to try to do a little cooking. I was going to make tuna salad last night, but I just, you know what? By the time I got home, it was like 7:30ish. It was just late, y'all. So, I'll tell you a story. So I got very upset at work yesterday. There was, you know, first I didn't know what was going on, but there was a group of older people. And some had IDs, some didn't. And I realized it was from a assisted living in place, right? And it's not too far from where we are. And, you know, and it's fun to watch people interact. I love to watch kids interact, like, especially when school classes come and stuff like that. And, you know, and these are very wealthy people. This is a very, very nice place. So trust me. And it was interesting to how people were dressed, and like some people just sat at a table, looked at the paper. Some people just sat, others were looking for books. I break my heart. This one couple, you know, you have to have like ID, and the woman who was managing them all was just like, we'll come back. So, you know, I would have checked them out on my card, but, so I'm helping, giving cards to people who had ID. And it was interesting because, you know, some people are dressed insanely elegantly. I thought, wow, you know, I mean, here you are. But, you know, I assume until the very end, when you really don't, I don't know, maybe even then, you know, you kind of are who you are. And I think, you know, it gave them a sense of themselves, right? To get up and put on a nice necklace and be put together. But this one woman, she had the best haircut I've seen. And she was larger, so I know it's going to look good on me. And so I asked her, I said, can I take a picture of your hair? I love it. I think, you know, eventually when I'm going from, I'm under reconstruction right now, but, you know, I think that's how I'm going to get my hair cut. And she, yeah, and then there's another woman, and she was dressed, let's say, sportier, or like, you know, she wasn't like dressed up to the nines. She wasn't spending her money on her clothes like these people were. And she said, the hair cutter, that's the best place to get your hair cut. And I said, well, yeah, it depends. And I looked at the woman, I said, did you get your hair cut at the hair cutter? And she said, never. Yeah. She couldn't remember where she got cut at. But anyway, she goes, oh, it's dirty. I said, no, your hair's beautiful. She did. She had beautiful gray hair. Exactly. It was 2 shades. I can't even describe. Anyway, I took a picture. And I'm going to get my hair cut like that. But then there were a couple of women in wheelchairs. So I went over to ask them, you know, just because I was on the other side of the desk just to see what I could do. And I recognized one of the women. And, you know, it's such a strange thing because you do have these little moments with people over and over and over again. And there is a bond, you know, and there is a friendship of sorts. It's just different, right? And, you know, and I don't know if it energies match, whatever it is, right? We knew each other in other lives. I don't know. But I couldn't think of her name, and she was Greek, and she had a hard name, first name and last name. And I said, hi. I said, do you remember me? I said, you used to come here all the time. I'm Tracy. Oh, I'm gonna cry. And she didn't. And she wanted to, I could tell. She goes, I'm sorry. I said, you know what? I said, you loved me, and I loved you. And I remember, for both of us. don't know why, it just makes me so sad. And I said, my name's Tracy. And she said, I have a granddaughter named Tracy. I said, you have a daughter-in-law named Tracy? And she said, yeah, I do. I said, I know, because we were friends, And she's just one of those people. She would look for me, or, I would check on her. And, I don't know. And, like, the pandemic just threw everything off. Everything off. And I said, well, is your family still here? And she goes, I lost my parents. Right? You're like 85. So you never lose. Yeah. Why am I crying? I don't know. Anyway. And she said, my husband died. And I said, I'm so, so sorry. He was a lovely man. And then, she had really good children. And grandchildren around here. So she's taken care of, and she's in a good place, as good as a place can be, And anyway, she still had her card, and I got her checked out, and I said, well, I'm gonna really look forward to seeing you, and we'll get to know each other again. And she's like, I'm so sorry, I don't remember you. I said, it's okay. I said, but you love me, and you used to bring me Greek desserts. She did. Every time they had a party or she cooked, she would bring me Greek desserts, which, by the way, I don't really like. But, why am I crying? I guess it made me miss my mom. I don't know, but it's just sad. It's life, right? It's just... And then this other woman came, and she was very elegant, and 2 large-sized women, but very just dressed and elegant. And, and I had just redone displays, and I put out some kind of really cool, interesting books. I don't remember off the top of my head what her book was, but it might have been a book Margaret Atwood wrote about writing and life. I don't know. It was really unusual. And this other book, and she'd gotten them. I said, I picked out your books for you. They look so good. I said, let me know when you come back, because what you thought of it. And yeah, I don't know. It just broke my heart. And they're lucky, very lucky. But I talked to the woman, and, my instinct is like, oh, we should have a book club and this and that. But that's not my role, and I can't, I can't, yeah. It just made me sad. And I want to, at some point, go to a nursing home and or someplace and, hang out and whatever. Just bring my cheerful self and have fun. But I can't now, obviously. I can't do it. It'd be way too emotionally hard for me, which makes me sad. And I'm trying not to judge myself, but I just can't, So anyway, I have no idea why that's just really freaked me out. I'm in the back room crying, trying to get myself together. But you know what? There's no shame in crying and caring about someone, and just in general. But the one woman I first got, and I was making her a card, and there was another gentleman, and he didn't have anything, and he wanted this book, and he's kind of intruding a little bit. And I said, just give me a second, we'll figure something out, just let me finish. And she's like, thank you. Like, she was mad. I could feel her vibe, like, why are you coming into my space right now? She's paying attention to me. Human nature, right? Wow. It was something. It was just something. That's all I can say. But I said to her, I hope you do come, on a, like books are due in 3 weeks, so maybe every 3 weeks, or every 2 weeks or whatever. I said, if you can come on this day, I'm here during the day. Anyway, I said, my name's Tracy. If you need anything, call. But yeah, I feel we should do outreach for stuff like that. I really do. I think it's important. And, I gave her some applications for this at-home service for people who are bedridden, can't get out. I had talked to my oldest customer is in her 100th year, as she likes to tell me. She just turned 99 in April. In her 100th year, which is true. You don't think about that. I'm in my 60th year. And, so she lives alone in her house. She's lived in for like 30 years. She loves it. She has somebody who comes in twice a day to get her ready in the morning, get her ready for bed. She has someone who grocery shops and makes food for her. She has a cleaning crew comes in a couple times a week. So, but she's not, and I get this. She said, my son-in-law, they live in Houston. Her other daughter lives in Kentucky. Wants me to go to assisted living. And I said, well, I understand that, right? If your mother, if your mother was your age living alone, you would either want her with you or you would want her somewhere where you felt like she was safe all the time. And she agreed. And I said, there's pros and cons. I said, you would have more social time if you wanted it, right? And, but she said, I don't make friends easily. Usually I have friends who came up to me and befriended me. Like if I have to go out and talk to people on my own, I'm not that good. And I said, well, I'm sure. I said, they have like social accounts. They have all kinds of stuff. But I said, I understand what you mean. But, there's, they have jigsaw puzzles and they have different groups. And, it's just, I said, but of course, there's downside to all that too, right? And then I said, just the same as living alone. You're in your house, you're comfortable, but then maybe you're, and it sounds like she has, friends and, I know she really wants me to visit her. And technically I really can't, but she's far away. And I've did that before and it's hard. I can't do it. So, for many reasons, one for my emotional health. But anyway, so I said, well, and she goes, well, they're coming next week because the roof's being fixed. I thought, And he's like, she said, well, he said I could move in and come back. No, you can't. It's not how that place works. I said, well, she goes, I don't think that's true. I said, I don't either. I really don't think that's true. And this woman is sharp. She's sharper than I am, honestly. And she's just, her body, on some level, she's in really good health, but she just can't. And she started crying. And she's like, it's so hard not to be able to take care of yourself and depend on people. And I said, I understand that. Though I've always depended on people, so it's not hard for me. I said, but think of your children. Think of all the people you've taken care of in your whole life. Probably your mother, and all her siblings are gone, and what you've done for them. Did you feel like it was, wasn't it an honor to do that for them? Wasn't it important? And, that's how the world should work. There's time when you need to be taken care of and times you take care of people. I said, I get it though. Beverly's going through this and we're going to have Beverly. Anyway. And I said, so there's pros and cons to everything. I said, but I think you're pretty strong-willed. And she said, I think I'll be dead within a year. I said, well, then, stay where you are. Fight for it. She said, well, I said, but I do have people I sent books to that are in places like Riderwood. There's some nice places. And I said, they really like it. But again, there's pros and cons. But she said, well, it would probably make sense for me to go to Kentucky to be near my other daughter and granddaughter. And they basically manage her from there, her granddaughter especially. And they make all her appointments and stuff, and then they come out and take her. And I get that's hard, right? And I bet they were worried sick about her during COVID. I can't even imagine. I didn't, I've probably been helping her a couple years now, but she, I don't know. I'm being snotty East Coast girl, but Kentucky assisted living I don't know. And she's not wealthy like these other people were, I don't think, because, of just the area she lives in, but it's hard. And she doesn't want to leave her house. And, scary. And I kind of thought that. I thought like 10 years ago she should have, but she was way too independent and strong to do that. But anyways, go back to Beverly, I don't know how much older Beverly is than I. She's a bunch of years older. It really doesn't matter, but, Beverly's difficult. Anyone, Jenny, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but she's difficult. And love her, smart as a wit. She's my soulmate, but she's difficult. And I was telling her the story, and I said, sometimes, what you have. Beverly's really fighting the idea that she can't do everything, and she's very, very independent in her whole life. On purpose, right? Maybe her dad had trained her to be like that as the firstborn. I don't know. And her middle sibling is a boy, and he has all kinds of issues. So, I think this was her dad's child. And, but yeah, she's very stubborn, and I don't care what it is. And right now she's listen, if I could have hired people to come help me in this last couple months, I would have. And I did a couple times. But it's physically hard. And one of the reasons I've been really digging deep and want to do more is because I can do it, right? I have to be careful, y'all. And it's also propelled me to want to go and start lifting weights and get stronger, which is, all this comes. Hi, princess. Wow, you did good. Come here. Claire's just, come here. Anyway, so Beverly's difficult. And so she's been really inspired by me and annoyed by me because, when you need to do something and, it just, can set you off. Like, if you're trying to give up smoking and all of a sudden your friend stops smoking kind of thing. You're inspired, but you're also annoyed as crap. You know what I mean? It's just human nature. But, Beverly's such a really deep thinker, and I don't know, I wish y'all could meet her. She's just such a great human being. And, so she said something like, well, when you drop my books off or whatever, I said, look, if you're going to be bitch and be difficult, you're going to get your books through the mail. Because we both know. And anyway, so long story short, what her ex-husband, best friend, just Dale, he closed his business and he's not in the best health, and he had a big house, and then his stepmother passed away and he had all kind of her stuff. Anyway, he had this really great woman. He's helping him, and she needs the money. She's young, she's healthy, she's strong, and she needs the money. And she's really good, right? And he's telling her all this stuff she does, and that she'll think of things that he can't think of, right? So I've been telling Beverly has a small house but terrible stairs. And Beverly has whatever that, where, she's really careful with carrying bags of books upstairs to the car, and then it's just ridiculous. I said, hire somebody. I mean, I have the vets that pick up. So long story short, I know she's like, well, I'm not ready. I said, look, you don't have to get rid of one thing you don't want to get rid of. Right? I'm getting ready to really be honest with myself and like, yes, I like this, but you have this you like more, and you cannot use it all. And it's a process. So I said, I'm a lot farther along in this process, right? And you've been with me. I was teasing her because the weather's her main thing. The weather's her main thing. I'm like, yeah, this is boring, the weather. And she goes, well, do you think listening to your decluttering shelves and what you're doing is interesting? I said, yes, I do. As only best friends can talk to each other. But I was like, you're going to be, I said, I had a friend, Eleanor, an older friend, and she was smart enough to go to assisted living. And there's a place somewhere in Maryland, I can't remember the name of the town, but anyway, it used to be an old monks, not a convent, that's not, you know what I mean, like a abbey maybe. And so there's a church with it, but there's this great retirement community around it, and the grounds are lovely. And she waited and she got a ground floor. Did she get the ground floor? I don't remember now. No, but she wanted to overlook, there's a park, like a small park. She wanted to overlook that, and she waited. Maybe she was, I don't know, second floor probably. And it was so smart, and it was lovely. And then they can bring you food if you want, you can eat. And she's not super social either, but she was in a sing-along thing, and she could go to the church and talk to a priest. It was just lovely. But she's stubborn, and she was shaky on her, very thin, shaky on her feet. And I said, you know what? I said, you need a walker and you need a scooter. And she had the money. It's not a money thing. I said, if you fall, your whole life can change. And she's like, I'm not going to fall. Very stubborn, and didn't do it. And I know she had the money. So she fell. And she had to go to the place where, like rehab, but she ended up in the nursing home part of it, and it was awful. I can't describe to you, my friend Nito, and I met Eleanor through Nito. I think they lived in the same building once upon a time. And Nito and I went up to take her to lunch. Now she's bedridden. And it's close to Baltimore. I can't explain it, it's just a different vibe. And so she was in the wheelchair waiting, and then we went to the car, got her in the car, and she's very light, so it wasn't a problem for me to do all that. but he went to fold up the wheelchair. It was just filthy. And Nito's he's a neat knit kind of guy, and he's like, come here. And it should not be like that. That's disgusting. So anyway, he mentioned it to someone, but then, there was she got lice within, like, I don't know, 3 or 4, 5 days of us being with her. And do you know, he called me and he said whoever he talked to implied that because Nita's Brazilian, was for me so attractive and lovely and elegant, and I mean, he's, and he dresses like, he has money. And she said, inferred that he might have brought lice in. It was like, wow, really? Well, then now it became the panic, do we have lice? So I stopped by on my way home from work, and he was going to check my head. And all this is difficult for him, and I'm sitting there and I'm on a stool. He goes, ah, and I'm like, what? He goes, no, it's your glass thing. Your glasses? You know what? I mean, we still can laugh. But it was sad, and she deteriorated, and she had a son. She had 2 sons. They're a mess. One, I think, I don't know what happened to one, but anyway, the other one was a mess. And anyway, she ended up going to, Nita and I could have, I mean, in hindsight, we would have been better off taking care of her and getting power of her and all that, but we just couldn't do it. So, and then, kept in touch with her, and she's really special to me, and really, I'm fine. So as I'm going, and one of the reasons I want to go through all my paperwork and stuff and things I've saved is because I find a card from her. And I found this, and I don't know how it ended up, but again, when you have so much, little treasures get lost. So there's she gave me a little heart, and there's an angel on top, and you open it up, and it's a mirror. And she'd written a little note, you're the angel. And so that's why I have to go through everything, but she was stubborn. I told Beverly, you're gonna have to reevaluate. And maybe she would have fallen anyway, getting on the scooter, and sometimes they say you break your hip and you fall, as opposed to fall and break your hip. And she was so thin, I don't know, it didn't matter. But I said, I don't know, if I had the money, I would be zipping around on my scooter, terrorizing everyone. Are you kidding me? But it's almost like saying, well, I'm going to go up the stairs but not use a handrail because I don't want to depend on anything. I mean, to me, it's that ridiculous. So anyway, Beverly and I, she's very stubborn. And and she's raging against the machine. And I get this, that, you don't want to depend on people. But I'm like, do you fix your own car? Do you change your own oil? Do you cut your own hair? I mean, there's things where we need other people, right? That know what they're doing. But Beverly is of French descent. And my friend Nancy and I, we would have these parties, and they were exhausting, volunteer parties. And we put our heart and soul into it because it was a big thing for us. And at some point, though, I just, depended on who I was helping. But, and Beverly's an amazing flower person, I don't know what you call it, putting stuff together, like floral arrangements and, all that kind of stuff. And she's by nature not extroverted like I am, though I have that introverted part, and I think ours are a lot alike. But Clara, it's okay. Oh, hold on. Okay, so that was my neighbor. So funny. He's older. I don't know how much older, honestly. Because his mother-in-law is 92, and we were talking about her, and he keeps an eye on things. He used to drive my mother crazy, but, I love that. He'll call me and say, hey, you left a package outside overnight, or somebody, so he keeps an eye out. And you know what? Kenny and I were talking about, that's like gold. Anyway, I wanted to tell him about my roommate. You'll see her coming in and out, and I was telling him about the vets. Anyway, it's nice. He's probably the only neighbor I really talk to, because if you don't have a dog or children, it's sad. That's one thing here that my mother really miss. My mother's always had good close neighbor friends, and yeah, these kind of communities, it's a little harder. And she refused to go like to there was a senior citizen far from here. She said, I'm not sitting around knitting, and yeah, anyway. But we come back to yeah, being smart, and it's not easy. But I said that same strength that got you through things is now the strength you need to ask for help. Because it's a weakness in you not to ask for help and put yourself in physical danger. Things happen anyway. But you're going to fall down the stairs carrying stupid books upstairs when you could hire someone. So anyway, long story short, the woman's coming. Very proud of her. And I'm jealous. And she wants to do, and now you start. So she's been like a whirling dervish, getting rid of stuff. And it's true, like when a cleaner comes to clean, they're not going to move and put stuff away. I mean, I'm sure you can pay people to do that. That's a whole nother story. But, so she's doing a bunch of stuff. So, because she wants to do a really deep clean first in her kitchen. And then the good thing is too, she has like a 4-year-old son, and right now she has someone, her teenage kid can watch the kid. And then, because Beverly's more of a morning person where her husband is a very late person. So anyway, but I said, you'll figure out the schedule. But it's like having a trainer. If you have 30 minutes, an hour with a trainer, you don't want to do cardio to warm up, right? You want to just get to the meat of it. So anyway, I'm very excited for her, and hopefully it will re-inspire me too. That's what's amazing about it all. But yeah, and I think to myself, like, now my impulsivity is a thing, and I have new Adderall. I'm just not sure about it. I feel like I'm talking a lot and fast. So at work, I have little signs. Silence. Hi, Clara. It's okay. It was just the neighbor. Claire's had it. So Kenny fixed my doorbell, and Clara hates doorbells. Hi. I have it used to be on my phone. Like if I got a voicemail or something, it would be like a doorbell. But Clara and Oscar would freak out, so I had to change it. Come on, baby. It's okay. It was just the neighbor. Do you want some more? Hold on. Let me get one. So anyway. And then one of my people, and she's probably been one of my favorite people to get booked for. She's a very good audience and very open-minded and love her notes and stuff. But she, books got returned, and her daughter, number 2, as she called herself, said that, she can't really read right now. So I let some time go, but I called and left a message. It's like, okay, well, I don't know if she's telling me she's dying. I don't know, but she's like, I don't know. She's older than my mother. And she's in an assisted living place because she told another person about the books and this and that. And that person, I still talk to, and I could probably get information about her from her. But because, you're not, when I talk to people and tell them about this service, and, it doesn't mean they're going to be assigned to me, right? And, but the other lady told me a point that she insisted that it was me. So, but anyway, so I called and left a message like, hey, I can send CD books if she has a CD player. We also have these things called MP3 players, y'all. They're called Playways. And they're originally at airports and stuff where you just put a battery and a headphone in, and it's everything's contained. You hit play and stop, but it will remember where you're at if you don't take the battery out. But I left a message, so I don't know. Hopefully I'll hear something. Because if she's not going to use the service, and I have to let my supervisor know, and I'll probably get another person. But it's hard, and I've lost 4 now to death. And the first person I was really distraught, and then I've had to number one, someone's 99, they're going to die soon, right? And it's part of life, and I'm just so thrilled to be able to, it's an honor, really, and it's one of my greatest joys of my job is to send people books and interact with them. And, I have another woman, and she's kind of been difficult as a patron, and she's older, she's like 95 or something, and she can't hear well. And she kind of got reassigned to me because there's been some issues, and, but I know how to handle people. But more than that, you connect. I'm good at connecting with people and what makes sense for them. Some people I can't, and I'm learning that. And also with Mary May and learning, you know, she's not here to become a good friend. I'm not here to offer sage advice, that kind of crap, you know. I can use that advice for myself. So right now, you know, giving her space and, you know, want her to feel comfortable and stay. And, you know, Claire will come comfortable. But anyway, so I haven't heard back from her family yet. But if she can listen to some books, right? I mean, it's just, but she made me sad because I had gotten all these really interesting books for her. But my new person, she's so funny. She'll say, don't send me anything. I have books to read. And then she'll want one book and I send extra books. And then she'll call and tell me, I love the extra books you send me. Keep sending them. But she also has memory issues, you know. And she'll call me sometimes 3 times to thank me for a book that really, she's very passionate. And she's a joy. Honestly, from what I thought in the beginning was like a little bit of a punishment. Like, what did I do wrong to deserve this? But it's turned into be really a joy. And she's 95. She's read a lot of things. So I'm trying to, you know, and she reads book reviews and, you know, into the Sunday paper. And then her daughter has suggestions. And so it's been fun to find things that I'm pretty sure she hasn't read that she's going to love. And there's been a few books that I've gotten her. There's one called Meet Me at the Museum. And it's told in letters. And it's my brain's not working right now, but it's just a lovely book. It's well written. I mean, it's just a love story and it's just heartfelt, you know. And there's been a few like that. And she just told me, I cried and cried and I've told everyone. And, you know, I sent a copy to a friend and, you know, that kind of thing. So it's lovely, right? So I've been thinking this week, you know, you just try things. You know, people like them or don't like them. Really, it's not, you know, but it's nice to have. Sometimes I think even though you know, there's a book called is it The Boy, the Fox, the Horse, and the Mole or something? And it's like, they consider it graphic, but it's a beautiful book. It's just an illustrated book, right? And it's gorgeous, and the sentimentality and the life in it is just lovely. And if you guys look for it, you should listen to it if you can, because the man's voice is wonderful. But like that, I'm going to get that for her and send it to her. And I sent her James Patterson, who I maybe read one of his books. He had does this thing now where like does deep dive into like defense lawyers or the police, but he did it for librarians and booksellers. And it's just so, you know, it's different people with their stories, different authors, booksellers, you know, librarians, and it's just lovely, especially if you're a reader. I sent her that, she loved it. So just stuff like that, you know, out of the box kind of thing. But I was also thinking that I did send her this children's book. It's a biography about this woman, Donna Garcia. I think. But it's a woman, I can't remember, I think I brought it and showed y'all, but I should keep a list of all that. But she's Jewish in a time, of course, don't understand the history of Jewish people, why they've been so persecuted. But long story short, she married someone and he was someone who sells things with ships. Merchant. And they were very successful, and she paid the king to leave Jewish people alone, basically. But, you know, her husband died, she took over, very successful. What they started doing was getting people out, right? Because things changed. And anyway, so it's a story, I want to say 1500s, 1600s, but it's amazing, like, how fun it must be for an author to stumble on somebody like this that you can document. Amazing. Anyway, so I sent her that picture book because I think she's going to like it. I think she's never heard of this woman. And it's just a nice little thing. So I can't do that for everyone, but I do it for some of my really good customers, when it's just something. Some of these picture books, y'all, are amazing. Like right now, I'm going to bring it home, do a book talk with y'all. It's called Luigi, the Spider Who Wanted to Be a Kitten. It's a little O. Henry story. It's just lovely. But anyway, so I'm looking for some children's fiction to send her. So anyway, it's fun. It's the best part of my job. It really is. And but yeah, it's been emotional. Wow. But you know, like I told Beverly, I said, when I've been reading a lot of organizing, decluttering stuff, and really it's a physical thing too, and it's energy. Like I told her at one point, I just feel sticky, right? Like I'm in the midst of this, my history, and possibilities that stagnated, and just energy that is just sucking the life out of me. So, I would say every time I got done, I would go take a shower and just try to rinse everything away from me, and then the smudging and, intentions and stuff. So yeah, as I go into, in my head, I'm like thinking through my garage, but you guys, I almost felt, did I hallucinate all that milk and beans? I can't describe to you how unpleasant it was. And then I had to sweep it. Anyway, I'm sure it's going to have a residue of that, but whatever. And yeah, tomorrow I'm going to get in there and, but I'm tired, so I'm going to listen to my body and take breaks, right, y'all? I have this old Adirondack plastic chair I'm going to get rid of. The garbage didn't take it. I don't know. I have to work hard to get in my car. So for now, I can sit in it and take a rest and talk to y'all. But yeah, I'm excited tomorrow. And at first I thought, oh, you'll never do it. And I'm like, yes, you will. Of course you will. I said, half of these containers are empty. They just need to be given away or given to, the vets. Because everyone loves empty containers. And a couple in my backyard, I just need to rinse them, and it's rain now, so that's going to help for me to clean them. Yeah, and then again, so the hardest part is going to be this shelving, and I'm going to dismantle it. I'm going to figure it out. And yeah, and that's going to help a lot. So anyway, I'm excited to get in there, but Sunday's fun. Sunday's going to be my fun day. I just really haven't decided about my massage. To get a massage early and then go out later that night just seems counterproductive. I don't know. I really don't know. I have time to think about it. I'm not sure. Maybe I should just really do some yoga and stretch, But that's going to be my fun day, an art day, and to do cool things day. So anyway, that's what's happening. This is longer, of course, than I need it to be, but it is what it is. Yeah, and I need to start, by the end of the year, I'm going to really, make YouTube my channel important, number one, and start spending time on it, because honestly, this, it's just been such a journey, and it's not like I feel like, I don't know, is it like you're at a toll road? I'm getting up to the next toll road. And, maybe there are different directions to go, but, it's going to be winter, and that's a good time, and I'm moving towards, I need a new iPad. It's just terrible not to have it, and I want one, so that's going to help me do stuff on my channel. But those of you who are here, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's an honor that you listen to me, and really talking to you guys, it just helps me sort things out. I know a lot of it's repetitive, but that's just, isn't life like that repetitive, It just is. But yeah, I apparently need to talk about this and cry. It's just, it's just life has changed, right? And you lose people you love. And it's just so strange, the relationships I have at work. I have certain people, we have really intense relationships. It's like, we know we would be, if we were to work together, we'd be like really good friends, right? And people are suffering. And there's one person who, and I can't tell you how much I just love the way she dresses and her energy, and she's just really neat person. And, now we've known each other a long time, and she lost her dad. She's going kind of through the same thing I was going through with my mom. But, one of her children's really struggling, and she's really having a hard time. And, I said, you're the one that needs the therapy, right? You know that, right? Like, you're the one that needs to work on yourself. And she's marrying something to you do not want to deal with within yourself. And she's really reluctant, and I get that. And you would look at her and think she's so put together, and she's super smart, so good she's a teacher, she's so good at her job. But I said to her, she teaches that now at a private school, and her daughter got free education, which, you guys, big deal. And but I guess you have to contract for another year after the child graduates, so she has another year. And I know she's going to write books. I can just tell. And I said, you know what? You think about going like to the Iowa Writers School, taking a workshop, maybe going for like 3 or 4 weeks, you know, being with yourself. Something like that, a retreat where maybe, you know, Iowa's probably a little bit more serious, but maybe there's a women's writing retreat and you do yoga and you eat healthy food and you have groups and you know, and you have writing time and maybe you have someone one-on-one that works with you. I said, you just need to figure out, right, what your first book's going to be about. And she always laughs at me. I said, I know, I can feel things about people. So, and she's pretty much someone, she puts her mind to it. But, you know, it is hard. It's hard to, you know, we're in a family system, you know, and you focus on, well, how do we fix this kid? Like, you know, she's so afraid she's going to have a bad life. And how do we fix that? And you can't, right? Especially the teacher, that's what you do, right? But anyway, so it's, you know, and we've had dinner and lunch before, but it's just like we have these little moments and, you know, sharing with her what I've done. And, you know, and she's like, I'm so proud of you. And I said, yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself. You know, it's just been hard, but we do hard things, right? And it's hard though. I guess there's Anais Nin, the French writer, and I know I'm going to mess it up. But she has this great quote where, basically, you know, I'm just, my recall's not there right now. That's okay. But at least I remember that there is a quote about this, right? If I can't remember it verbatim, but basically it's like when it's harder to be in a cocoon, the flower will blossom, right? Like, it's like, once this becomes so claustrophobic, then you're forced to kind of bloom, kind of thing. And that's just lovely. But anyway, that's what's happening, y'all. And now I got to go and have everybody muck around and get the stitches out and start, you know, and I'm going to ask them, so if we're going to do the next tooth and put a cap on it, I just need some estimates on that, right? I need to figure this out. And see how much my insurance pays. And then, you know, I mean, it's not, I'm on the level, I think I'll just do it there because, oh my God, the thought with all this other health stuff going on, but I do want to get it fixed before it breaks. I need the whole shebang as it is. But anyway, you guys, you take care. I'll see you soon. And I will bring you on fast forward in my garage and we'll start and I'll show you where I'm at and what my thoughts are. And just need all that energy to get me there. And then we'll go through this broken glass. Y'all, don't you have a box of broken glass you paid for from New Mexico? Anyway, all right, guys, take care. I'll see you soon.